This afternoon, I'd love to talk about how to use the breath to manage emotions. Now, there's lots of different ways that we can manage emotions, and who agrees that sometimes emotions can weigh heavy? Sometimes they can cloud decisions. Sometimes they can leave us in a loop of worry or a loop of rumination, which means we can't find a pathway forward. And as women in leadership, whether it's leading yourself, whether it's leading your family, whether it's leading a team, you need to be able to learn ways to not push emotions down. That's not what I'm talking about, but to be able to calm them in a way that you can make some clear decisions without being in a space of reactivity. And that's not easy. I think very often the problem is we feel that we need to push emotions down in order to clear them, and it just means that they pop up somewhere else, sometimes when we least expect them, and can cause ongoing problems in other areas of our lives. So emotions aren't the sorts of things that we need to push down, but we do need to be able to steer and navigate them. We still need to be able to feel them and still be able to respond and use our mind in a way with clarity and confidence, no matter what's happening inside. So to calm emotions, it really depends on what type of emotion is present as to what techniques that we use. Now, there's lots of techniques to calm emotions. There's thought processes. There's exercise, going for a run. There's lots of different ways, but I only want to share with you this afternoon just how to use the breath and just a couple of techniques that can help. Ultimately, our emotions can be divided into two halves. They're either renewing, which means a bit like when you plug your phone into the battery or into the charger overnight, it means that your battery gets renewed. So we can have renewing emotions that are high energy, like excitement or enthusiasm. We can have renewing emotions that are calming or less or lower energy, like appreciation, gratitude. Now, the emotions that most often impact our decision making, of course, are not the renewing emotions, but the depleting emotions. So those emotions that make you feel like the battery's being drained. You don't feel renewed or revived at the end of the day. You feel drained. You might feel drained when you wake up. Emotional drain can happen with depleting emotions that are high energy. Those high energy emotions can include anger, resentment, anxiousness. We can also have depleting emotions that are lower in energy. So that means sadness, depression. These are the lower energy depleting emotions. So whether your emotion is high energy and depleting or low energy and depleting will impact what you choose to try and calm it. For example, if you're low energy, it doesn't really make sense to do really calming techniques because you're probably not going to perk yourself up. I'd rather, if you're in a low energy state like depression or sadness, if you need to shift it, to be able to do something that increases your energy, such as fast breath work, or go for a run or dance in the lounge room. I prefer a dance in the lounge room, but faster breath work can help lift you out when you feel like you've been stuck in the mud. I'm not going to teach you high energy breath work at the moment because there's a lot of considerations with that, including are you pregnant? Do you have high blood pressure? There's a few contraindications to fast or Wim Hof style breath work, but that breath work can certainly help if you found yourself in a place of I'm depleted and I'm low energy. So we've got low energy depleting emotions. Now what we've got is high energy depleting emotions, and these can include things like anxiousness, resentment, anger, and these emotions, like I said, can leave us in a space where we're looping in our mind. And when we have these emotional moments, if we stay there, I mean, often these emotions just pass, right? But if we stay there, that emotion can impact your thoughts and can impact your behaviors. So a little bit like, I don't know if you've ever had this happen, but a little bit like when you put a pair of glasses on your head, if those glasses are tinted blue, then everything that you look at will look a bit blue, right? And if you take them off, and if you can imagine, if those glasses represent, the blue represents worry, it means when I've got my blue glasses on, I might look out and everything that I see is something to worry about, which causes me to think worrying thoughts And when I think worrying things and feel worrying feelings like anxiousness, my behavior is going to be very different. The choices that I make in my life are going to be very different. If, however, you put on a different pair of glasses and just say they're red glasses, and the red represents resentment or anger, it means that when I put those red glasses on, everything around me looks a little bit red. So if I look into my past, there's a bit to look at there that's resentment. If I look into my present, yes, there's things to be resentful about. And if I look into the future, well, there's probably going to be resentment there too. In my daily life, there's resentment. So the glasses in which you wear will impact how you see things, which impacts your thoughts. I'll think resentful thoughts and impacts your behavior. So I don't know if you've ever experienced in life having glasses on your head and you didn't even know they were there. I've been looking for my sunglasses before and realised that they're on my head. And so it does happen that we can sometimes have a lens and emotion that's impacting us without really even being fully aware of it. So part of that requires a little bit of emotional intelligence to check in and ask, how am I feeling? What lens am I looking through right now? And if you find yourself in an area of high energy depleting emotions, it can certainly impact your thoughts, your decisions, impacts your leadership style, means that you can become more reactive. And what we want to do is to be able to not push those feelings down, acknowledge them, but also learn to calm them. And so the three or different breath techniques that I'd love to share with you. Number one, the very first thing that you can do is to soften the belly. So you might even like to try this lying down, is quite nice, but in sitting, if you hold onto your upper belly and just let it completely go soft. Very often, when we're in a space of high energy depleting emotion, such as anger or anxiousness, our stomach tightens up and we start breathing up into our neck and chest, which gives us neck pain and shoulder pain and all sorts of other problems. And so the first step in just relaxing the belly and taking some slow breaths in and out of the belly is a nice way to start dialing down that depleting emotion and calming it down. So first step, number one, first breath technique, soften the belly and just let the belly expand as you inhale and soften as you exhale. That's number one. Number two, nice and easy, is to create a longer exhalation. So inhale for the count of 3 or 4, exhale for the count of 4 or 5. Just a little bit longer. I'm not worried if it's double the length. I'm not worried about the specifics, just a slightly longer exhale. And what that does is calm the nervous system, which means when we're in that place of depleting emotion, that's high energy, it starts to calm that energy down and bring us back to a place of neutrality. So soften the belly, longer exhalation. The last breath you can do, really simple, I use this all the time, it's just a box breath where you inhale, pause, exhale, pause. And again, this can calm high energy depleting emotions and bring it back to a space of neutrality. So doing that for a minute or so. Now, these three techniques are useful in the space of high energy emotions. But as I said, sometimes we find ourselves in a lull, stuck in the mud, feeling like we're sinking. That sense of, sadness. It could be depression, it could be lots of things, but that sense of low energy, having a calming breath, although it's lovely, probably won't shift it. So if you want to use your breath to shift an emotion, you need to decide, is it high energy right now? Do I need to calm it? Is it low energy? Am I sad? Am I really flat? Do I need to lift it? And that's when your Wim Hof breath works really well. Going for a run, having a dance in the lounge room, equally valid. So I hope these three techniques help, because ultimately what I know is that as leaders, if we are on a seesaw of volatility with our emotions, it's much harder to make clear decisions. It's much harder to connect and build trust with others. So our role is not to squash emotions or pretend they're not there or shut down, put armor around the heart. That's not a great strategy. It's a strategy we all use from time to time, but it's not resourceful. So the strategy is to keep your heart open, but to calm the volatility so that you can come from a place of calm responsiveness rather than feeling like you're on a seesaw up and down like a yo-yo. I do hope this has helped.